guess you have to look further off towards the south and west for any kind of development. Futurecast showing us with a lot of sunshine. There will be a few passing clouds developing this afternoon. A lot of it will be staying away. We'll have more clouds overnight, and eventually we'll get some more activity as we head towards Tuesday night and a parts of Wednesday morning with a little bit of snow. Now, gusty winds will be expected today, reaching up to about 20 miles per hour, calming down as we head towards tonight and a parts of Tuesday morning. And then the winds will get gusty again through Tuesday up to around 20 to even 25 miles per hour. So for today in general, partly cloudy, low 20s for the high, southwest wind at around 5 to 10 miles per hour, higher gusts not out of the question. So moving forward again, we will have some clouds today with temperatures in the teens, getting close to 20 degrees. Your full 5-day forecast is coming up.
Thank you, Devin. There have been new airstrikes today and a rising death toll stemming from the U.S. attack on Iran that killed Iran's supreme leader. We've also learned that 4 Americans have now lost their lives as a result of airstrikes in Kuwait. ABC's Marcus Moore has the latest.
Well, good morning. New emergency alerts went out to cell phones here in Doha this morning, and we've heard more loud booms over the city, likely as defenses, air defenses intercept projectiles. Meanwhile, overnight, President Trump indicated just how long these attacks on Iran could last. Overnight, President Trump giving new insight into the military action in Iran, telling ABC News the U.S. attacks could last 4 or 5 more weeks. His statement coming just hours after the announcement that American service members were killed during an Iranian attack in Kuwait.
I want to express my deep condolences and the condolences of the Joint Force to the Department of War personnel killed and wounded in actions thus far.
Central Command releasing new video showing the U.S. destroying what appear to be Iranian fighter jets, drones, and ballistic missile launchers, among other military targets. But Iran is responding. A drone blasting this residential building in Bahrain. And in Qatar, people running for their lives. And inside Iran, the death toll is rising. President Trump over the weekend justifying the attack.
They've rejected every opportunity to renounce their nuclear ambitions.
But some question whether Iran posed an imminent threat.
I saw no intelligence that Iran was on the verge of launching any kind of preemptive strike against the United States of America.
And President Trump says the potential leaders of Iran have indicated that they want to talk. And we saw Iran's interim leadership council meeting this weekend, but President Trump did not elaborate on plans for any future U.S. negotiations. Marcus Moore, ABC News, Doha.
Lawmakers in Washington are pushing for votes on war powers resolutions. Chad Pergram has more from Washington.
Congressional Democrats plan to force a war powers vote on Iran even before the recent strikes. Virginia Democrat Tim Kaine says under the Constitution, only Congress can declare war unless there's an imminent threat.
This is an illegal war. I have a war powers resolution queued up for vote this week, and I'm encouraging my colleagues to assert the constitutional power vested in the legislative branch. More importantly, though, haven't we learned something from 25 years of war in the Middle East? Have we learned nothing?
The war powers resolution requires the president notify Congress of hostilities within 48 hours. A president has 60 to 90 days to withdraw troops without coming to Congress.
Very troubling is most congressional Democrats, as you brought up, they're going to line up next week and say, we don't want the president to have any authority to defend the United States of America against the imminent threat of Iran.
But a few Republicans want Congress to vote. That includes Kentucky Republicans Rand Paul and Thomas Massie, along with Ohio Republican Warren Davidson. The strikes come as the Department of Homeland Security still lacks money from Congress. The shutdown is entering its 3rd week.
It is outrageous that they continue to stall on this because their political ideologies disagree with keeping Americans safe.
There's concern about domestic terrorism. The House plans to vote this week on funding DHS. Down the road, there could also be a request for Congress to approve money to help a reformed Iran or to restock the military. House and Senate-wide briefings are set for Tuesday. Lawmakers will hear from Secretary of State Marco Rubio and the director of the CIA, John Ratcliffe. In Washington, Chad Pergram, Fox News.
Maine's elected officials are reacting to the attacks on Iran. Governor Janet Mills said in part, quote, Iran must not be allowed to develop a nuclear weapon, but the president's unilateral actions put us at risk. U.S. Senator Angus King said in part, quote, I hope for the best, especially for our troops who may be placed in harm's way, but fear that this precipitous action may have unnecessarily put them at risk without sufficient consideration of the significant possibility of prolonged and destructive conflict. U.S. Senator Susan Collins said in part, quote, the Iranian regime's pursuit of nuclear weapons, ballistic missile development, and support for terrorist proxies pose serious threats to America's national security and that of our allies, but to stability of the Middle East. U.S. Representative Jared Golden said in part, quote, it's regrettable that negotiations to halt Iran's nuclear program have stalled. Having made the decision to use this Article II power to initiate these strikes, President Trump is now required by the War Powers Act to consult with Congress within 48 hours. U.S. Representative Shelley Pingree says this latest action puts global stability at risk.
This president came into office saying, I will end the forever wars. Those were misguided. You won't see that from me anymore. And he's been going in the opposite direction. We've gotten no briefing, no rationale, no information about this.
Political candidates are also reacting. 2nd District candidate Matt Dunlap said in part, quote, this is an illegal war that no one wants that was started by a president who is out of control. Donald Trump promised the American people he'd keep us out of wars. He lied. U.S. House candidate Jordan Wood said in part, quote, President Trump's reckless and lawless strike on Iran is unconstitutional and a massive step toward another war that the American people do not want or support. Senate candidate Graham Plattner held an emergency anti-war protest in Brewer last night to speak out against the joint attack on Iran. He was joined by dozens of community members collectively rejecting the prospect of war in Iran. This comes as the U.S. military announced Sunday that American service members have been killed as a result of the operation. At least 5 more have been seriously injured, according to the U.S. Central Command. Plattner, who served in the United States Marine Corps and the Army National Guard, says that is the ultimate cost of war. He described the conflict with Iran as an abuse of power by the Trump administration.
We cannot continue to act in this fashion. We cannot continue to get young Americans killed just to serve the interests of someone in power. That is not the way that we should be acting as a nation, and we need to be figuring out how do we claw that power back from the executive branch and put it back into the hands of those who deserve it constitutionally, which is Congress.
Plattner is urging Maine's congressional delegation to support a war powers resolution that would stop the president from continuing force against Iran without direct congressional authorization. A Bangor man has been arrested for threatening an assault at a local hotel. Bangor Police Sergeant Jeremy Brock says 32-year-old Daniel Chapman was arrested after police responded to a disturbance at a hotel on Godfrey Boulevard a little before 4 a.m. According to Brock, people working there called and reported someone threatening bodily harm. Brock says multiple officers responded and found the disturbance had moved inside a room. Brock says the officers could hear continued threats of physical harm as well as threats to use a gun. He says they made entry into the room when they heard what they believed to be an assault taking place. Chapman is being charged with criminal threatening with a dangerous weapon, assault, and violation of conditions of release. A man has been taken into custody in connection with an act of vandalism at Burnt Cove Market in Stonington. According to a Hancock County Sheriff's Office, the evidence obtained throughout the course of the investigation led to identification of the alleged suspect and the issuance of a search warrant for Mark Vayos of Deer Isle. According to the Sheriff's Office, he's charged with aggravated criminal mischief and possession of a firearm by a prohibited person. During the late hours of March 1st and into the early morning hours of March 2nd, they executed a search warrant at a residence in Deer Isle while Vayos was taken into custody and more evidence was collected. He was transported to the Hancock County Jail. His arraignment will be sometime today at Ellsworth District Court. An employee made the initial discovery Sunday morning when they arrived at the market for their shift. The glass in the 2 front doors had been broken, leaving the area scattered with debris. A store manager tells us it doesn't appear there was any damage inside the store, but the store is now cold and they're making plans to repair the expensive doors. Unionized nurses with Northern Maine Medical Center in Fort Kent are continuing to push for a final contract after 2 years of negotiating. Union nurses were joined by a crowd of supporters during an event Saturday as they released a letter that claims they have faced intimidation, bullying, and retaliation from hospital administration in their ongoing efforts to secure a contract. According to the Maine State Nurses Association, it's been over 2 years since Northern Maine Medical Center first formed their union and began bargaining in good faith for a first contract. We obtained a copy of the letter signed by more than 30 nurses. That letter highlights the initiative to organize the union was to protect themselves and their patients, not to punish any individuals or hospital as a whole. In response to their efforts, the nurses claim they have faced years' worth of intimidation by hospital administration. The letter did not go into detail about these claims. We have reached out to the hospital administration for comment and are awaiting a response. The letter goes on to say the nursing staff continues to give everyone who comes to NMMC the best possible care, even as they fight to make the hospital the best place it can be for everyone. Coming up on ABC 7 News at noon, funding for Homeland Security is turning into a battle. We'll be right back.
Don't take a tiny check for your car wreck. Call the twos.
We got a client who fractured their pelvis, a big check for $300,000. Hurt in a car accident? I'm your go-to guy.
Call 222-2222. See the USA in your Chevrolet. America's asking you to call. Drive your Chevrolet through the USA. America's the greatest land of all.
Well-qualified buyers can get 1.9% financing when you finance with GM Financial. Or qualified lessees can get this Silverado pickup for around $399 a month.
A sharp pain in his chest. He knew it was his heart, but 2 hours from the big city hospital could tragically mean the end. But it wasn't. Thanks to Senator Susan Collins' tireless fight for Maine's rural hospitals. Because of Senator Collins' work, his local hospital had recently received up-to-date diagnostic equipment and upgraded facilities, all paid for with new federal funding. Lives are being saved. Call and thank our Senator Susan Collins for delivering this lifeline for Maine.
Ready to create your backyard oasis? Alexander's Professional Landscaping will work with you to create your perfect outdoor space. Work one-on-one with our landscape designer to create a unique garden to fit your family's personal aesthetics and lifestyle. Have our pros install your new lawn, garden, or patio. Schedule a consultation today by calling 573-4497. Alexander's Professional Landscaping, the way landscaping should be.
Huckleberry's Card and Gift has a wide selection of puzzles for the entire family. Local items, including raised mustard and scone mix from the Scone Goddess, jewelry, town signs, coffee mugs, and much more. Located in front of the Brewer City Hall.
When the morning light hits Maine, start your day with Good Morning Maine. Craig Colson, Janessa Bishop, by your side, bringing the stories that matter statewide. Local news and the forecast ahead. Wake up informed, ready to go on ABC 7 and Fox 22.
You're watching ABC 7 Bangor.
Employees were struck by a vehicle and killed while doing their job. Saturday, there was a celebration of their lives. Callie Warren has the story.
This is the nightmare that most commissioners, most entities that work in the right-of-way worry about day to day.
James Brown and Dwayne Campbell died while doing one of the many things those close to them say they loved, working to keep Mainers safe on the roadways.
Dwayne and Jimmy's friends, family, and co-workers say they were both good friends and good guys, always out on the roads, even on the coldest winter or the hottest summer days. If there was work to be done, their vehicles were at the shed.
Killed in a January crash inside an interstate construction zone in Waterville, their colleagues and loved ones made sure their memory stays alive. In their memorial service Saturday, a sea of Maine DOT branded vests, exactly like the ones they wore every day, showed proof of camaraderie and community.
There, that feels better. I'm home now. Today is about honoring and recognizing what Dwayne and Jimmy did for you, your families, your neighbors, and every day when they put one of these on and walked out of the Fairfield camp.
Before their memorial service, a convoy rolled out of the Maine DOT training center in Fairfield. Work vehicles from Calais to Vermont and everywhere in between traveled to Augusta, their lights on, their license plates bearing Brown and Campbell's names.
No sign, barrier system, attenuator truck can provide the same level of safety that just a prudent driver can.
The Maine DOT reminds all drivers to be cautious, especially of those working on or in roadways.
Grief is the price of love, and the depth of our grief today speaks to the depth of our love for Dwayne and Jimmy.
Callie Warren reporting for ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
Two Washington County healthcare organizations have merged. The two organizations are Eastport Healthcare and St. Croix Regional Family Health Center. Health officials say the merger will improve patient access, care coordination, investment opportunities, and recruitment and retention. They also say patients will continue to receive care from the same providers, clinic locations will remain open, and no jobs will be eliminated. As the air campaign against Iran intensifies, the battle on Capitol Hill over funding for Homeland Security is turning into more of a Cold War, with Democrats remaining tight-lipped about a new proposal from the White House. Correspondent Mark Meredith has more from Washington.
We need to make sure we're defending the homeland by also funding what's happening here at home.
Often referred to as America's first line of defense against terrorism, the Department of Homeland Security remains unfunded as the Iran conflict escalates. On Friday, agency employees missed their first paycheck of a prolonged shutdown, with more to come this week if an agreement is not reached. Congressional Republicans now hoping the heightened threat from Iran will ramp up pressure on Democrats.
Who are Democrats siding with? Right? They are siding with our enemies. They are making us less safe. They are defunding Homeland Security, standing in the way of the president.
Democratic leadership say they've received a new counteroffer from the White House, which they are reviewing. But deep divisions remain, with immigration enforcement restrictions a key sticking point.
We believe immigration enforcement should be fair and just and humane. And until that changes, the DHS funding bill is not going to move forward.
Despite a lack of funding, DHS is beefing up security and warning of potential lone wolf and cyber attacks related to the ongoing conflict in Iran. Some experts now warning the department should also raise the threat level under the National Terrorism Advisory System.
See something, say something. You want the American people involved in their own security. When they're involved in their own safety and security, they're going to work closely with law enforcement.
And while negotiations are ongoing, the House is expected to vote on a new DHS funding bill at some point this week. In Washington, Mark Meredith, Fox News.
After the break, Mainers are celebrating the Year of the Horse. We've got details when we return.
At Old Town Redemption Center, we are always ready to help with any fundraisers or bottle drives. We are here to help our community. Like and follow us on Facebook for upcoming weekly holiday giveaways and our monthly $100 drawing.
Hi, I'm Tony Hafford from TC Hafford Basement Systems, the all things basement-y company. Basement waterproofing, basement structural repair, humidity and mold control, and nasty crawl spaces too. Since 1991, over 15,000 Maine homeowners have trusted TC Hafford Basement Systems to fix their basements. Call TC Hafford Basement Systems today for all things basement-y.
Whether you can pinpoint the problem or can't quite put your finger on it, the friendly professionals from Coastal Auto Parts can help point you in the right direction. With Maine's largest network of parts, you can trust your vehicle will have what it needs to get you to the moments that matter most. Because Napa knows the keys to a winning team. With 30 locations in Maine, Coastal Auto Parts helps keep our communities running with quality parts and helpful people. That's Napa know-how. Coastal Auto Parts is owned and operated by a Maine family that cares.
Every year, communities recognize outstanding service with the Spirit of America Foundation Tribute. Do you know a local person or group that goes above and beyond for others? Nominate them today by contacting a select person, city or town councilor. Help honor those who make a difference where you live. For more information, visit spiritofamerica.website.
Car accidents can be scary. It can feel like the whole world is crashing down around you. You can't work, you've got expensive medical bills, pain and suffering. Absolute chaos. We'll take the stress and frustrations off your shoulders. We've done that for thousands of people, and we're ready to help you too. Hurt in a car accident? I'm on top of it. I'm your go-to guy.
Call 222-2222.
At Old Town Redemption Center, we are always ready to help with any fundraisers or bottle drives. We are here to help our community. Like and follow us on Facebook for upcoming weekly holiday giveaways and our monthly $100 drawing.
Every week, I share some kind of dessert that's so easy, you can throw it together without any stress. Because the last thing you need is more of that. And in my book, dessert is a stress reliever. Did you know that stressed, spelled backwards, is desserts? So to help you get rid of stress in your life, how about whipping up a batch of our Amish-style apple turnovers? Watch how easy. After peeling, coring, and chunking up a few apples, we saute them in a bit of butter, cinnamon, sugar, and cornstarch. The scent of cinnamon always makes me feel relaxed. Once the apples are tender, we'll set them aside to cool while we unfold a sheet of thawed puff pastry and cut it into squares. Using frozen dough is such a time saver. Now a little of the apple filling goes onto the center of each square. To seal them, we brush the edges with an egg wash, fold the dough over the filling, creating a triangle, and press the edges together with a fork. Then we brush the tops with the remaining egg wash and sprinkle on some sugar before baking them off. And when these come out of the oven all hot and flaky, you can serve them as is, or even better yet, with a scoop of vanilla ice cream and some caramel sauce. Consider these our prescription for putting a smile on your face. I hope you'll go online to get our recipe for fresh apple turnovers so you can feel the stress of life melt away. I'm Howard in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, where every day we're looking for an easier and a less stressful way for you to say, ooh, it's so good.
It's the Year of the Horse, and yesterday, folks in Westbrook gathered for the Lunar New Year celebration. Event organizers say this is a lucky year and a time for color, food, song, and dance, as well as honoring cultural traditions. The event included a variety of family-friendly activities like Chinese language lessons, traditional Chinese games, paintings, and more.
People from China who have come to Maine like to come and see a bit of their home culture. People from South Asia, from Taiwan, Chinese Americans, and even non-Chinese Americans who find that they want their children to see something international, or they want to show something cool that they saw on a trip overseas before.
The event was put on by the Chinese and American Friendship Association of Maine. It concluded with a dance, drumming, and martial arts performance by the Chinese Folk Art Workshop of Boston. When we return, Devin Biggs has your 5-day forecast.
Paramount Paving, Maine's go-to for all your paving and seal coating. Paramount Paving offers commercial and residential paving and seal coating services throughout eastern and central Maine. Give us a call for a free estimate today. Paramount Paving. When it comes to paving, we are Paramount.
I got hurt by a big truck. Why did I call the twos?
Because life-changing injuries deserve life-changing money, and I'll fight to get it for you. We got a client who broke multiple bones in a commercial vehicle accident, $700,000. Another client had a brain injury, and we got them $1.15 million.
If you get hurt by a big truck, call the twos.
We win for you.
Hurt by a big truck? Call the twos. We win for you.
When Maine winter bites, nothing matters more than keeping your family warm. The solution is simple, a high-efficiency heat pump installed by Valley Home Services. It's the quiet, reliable warmth you need all season long. At Valley Home, we're your elite Fujitsu dealer, ensuring expert installation that delivers consistent comfort and maximizes your energy savings. And we make it easy to switch to efficiency heating and qualify for those valuable Efficiency Maine rebates. Stay perfectly warm without the high cost. For a warm, worry-free winter, trust the local experts. Valley Home Services. Winter warmth is waiting. Call us today.
You can buy a car, you can't finance a car without a driver's license.
A solution to her friend's problem.
She convinced you to buy the car in your name for her to fool the finance company. She stopped making the payments. The car was repossessed.
Was anything on the up and up?
During that time, she never did get a driver's license.
I had a lot of fees that I had to pay.
Oh, so you were fooling him too?
Next Judge Judy.
Monday at 5 on ABC 7.
Paramount Paving, Maine's go-to for all your paving and seal coating. Paramount Paving offers commercial and residential paving and seal coating services throughout eastern and central Maine. Give us a call for a free estimate today. Paramount Paving. When it comes to paving, we are Paramount.
Let's check your full forecast with Devin Biggs. Devin?
Alrighty, thank you very much. Your full weather forecast brought to you by Old Town Redemption Center, now offering a 10% bonus on your returnables and a monthly $100 drawing. Alrighty, here we go. That freezing spray advisory is up until 1 p.m. this afternoon along the coast, and once we get that out of here, we'll be looking pretty good. We've already lost a small craft advisory and a cold weather advisory farther off towards the north. Wave heights still a little bit active enough to cause some isoform along the coast. Wave heights definitely more active farther out towards sea, getting up to even 11 feet according to one buoy at this time. But on land, though, again, lots of sunshine. We'll have some clouds developing throughout the afternoon period, but otherwise a large area of high pressure keeping us nice. And there's a little bit of a system farther down toward the south and west that is tracking off towards the east at this point, but otherwise we are looking pretty good at this time. Now, Futurecast showing the clouds developing this afternoon. They get out of here later on tonight with a mostly clear sky, but as we do head towards your Tuesday, sunshine to start, more clouds during the afternoon. There's that opportunity for snow Tuesday night, lingering through early Wednesday morning, but then we get that out of here and we'll be partly cloudy through the rest of your Wednesday. Now, as for the snowfall with that system, in general, around 1 to 3 inches of snow. See that narrow band right there? That could locally be up to 4 inches of snow, 3 to 4 inches of snow possible there before everything begins to back off. So overall, as we do move forward again, we're looking at lower 20s with the system, partly cloudy with that southwest wind getting up to about 5 to 10 miles per hour. We could also see some gusty winds getting close to about 20 miles per hour at times. Now by tonight, 0. That's the overnight low, mostly clear. The winds will back off out of the south at around 5 miles per hour, but it gets active again tomorrow, partly cloudy and breezy with highs in the mid-30s and that southwest wind picking up to about 25 miles per hour. And let's check out your extended forecast brought to you by Old Town Redemption Center. We're partly cloudy on Wednesday with highs in the upper 40s with mid-40s coming up for your Thursday under a partly cloudy sky. Snow chances Friday with highs in the mid-30s.
Thank you, Devin. From extinction to the auction block, a famed set of dinosaur bones will soon go to the highest bidder. It's Trey the Triceratops skeleton, which for decades has been on display at a Wyoming museum. The skeleton dates back for more than 66 million years. It was discovered